Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items, or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
And we welcome you to the Powassan Sportsplex for some Saturday night hockey. I am Matthew Sukram alongside Ben Sargent, and the Powassan Voodoos are set to take on the Timmins Rock. It's a game featuring the top 2 teams in the East Division. Timmins comes in 21-9, 2-0 on the year, good for 44 points, while the Powassan Voodoos come in 19-11, 0-2 on the year, good for 40 points. So this is a huge swing game as it's the final game on the 2023 calendar year. Both teams will be off onto their respective Christmas breaks at the conclusion of this one. And Ben, for both teams, it's either going to be a 6-point advantage for the Timmins Rock, or the Powassan Voodoos will close the gap, and the race for the number 1 spot in the East will be down to just 2 points.
Yeah, it's a very interesting these two teams are on completely different sides right now in terms of the trajectory of their seasons. At one point, Powassan had an 11-point lead, if you remember that back. I want to say that was like early November, but lately it has been them playing pretty much 500 hockey at this point in the standings, whereas the Rock, they're 8-2 in their last 10. They've gone unbeaten in December, so they've won their last 5 in a row. Their last loss coming back on November 30th against the Hearst Lumberjacks, a 4-1 loss on the road there. So you have a really hot Timmins Rock team coming in against a Voodoo team that has been very up and down, and we've seen some really good performances, but then we've seen some performances against some teams like the French River Rapids, speaking of last night, where really these teams that they should be beating handily, they're either losing or they're just scraping by to win.
And both these teams were in action yesterday. As you mentioned, the Powassan Voodoos taking on those French River Rapids, picking up a much-needed win. But the Timmins Rock were in action last night. They were home last night, taking on the Iroquois Falls Storm. And it was the Timmins Rock prevailing, as you said, to win their 5th in a row with a 6-2 victory over Iroquois Falls. So both teams coming in with wins in their last couple of games. The Powassan Voodoos have beaten French River twice, although you said it wasn't an easy job to get that done. So the Powassan Voodoos looking to use last night's win as momentum, while the Timmins Rock looking to keep that train rolling. Let's take a look at who we are going to be looking at for our players to watch tonight.
Players to Watch is brought to you by Mike the Financial Advisor. If you have financial questions, he has financial answers. On Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at MikeBFA.
Well, tonight, Matt, we're going to be taking a look for the Voodoos. We're going to look at Justin Russo, who's back to the lineup last night after netting assist on Caleb Dawson's game winner against the Rapids. But he's only played 15 games this season. He's had some upper body injuries. It's going to be really important for him to get back onto that bottom line and really show this Voodoos team what they're made of. On the other side, for the Rock, we have, just like when we saw when they played the Espanola Paper Kings with Lucas Signoretti, another guy who just absolutely dominates the point score sheet for the Timmins Rock, Harry Clark. 57 points, 40 of them coming through the assists. So he's a guy, he's a playmaker, he makes things happen. Watch that top line with the guy leading the scoring, Timmins, Mason Sfarich. 21 goals leads the team. Watch for that connection in this game. I think that's going to be a big key. If the Voodoos can stop that, it might be a tough time for them to score.
We'll see what happens when we come back for Puck Drop. We'll pause for the national anthem, and then we'll have hockey here at the Powassan Sportsplex.
They lost two special people recently, and Daryl Bester, who passed away at the age of 47 on December 6th, and Dennis Malone, who passed away in late November. We would like to have a moment of silence to honor Daryl and Dennis. Thank you. We ask you to remove your hats and remain standing and join Tim Carroll for the singing of the American and Canadian national anthems.
Oh, see, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets rent the air, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sailors, that star-spangled banner yet wave, o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command, car ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix, ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard.
Welcome back. I'm Matthew Sukram alongside Ben Sargent, Mike Brown on camera, Harrison Clements taking care of all the socials on the Frontline broadcast. Like, share, and subscribe to our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook pages for all that great content. Let's take a look at our starting lineups tonight, including the goaltending matchup. In net for the Timmins Rock, Patrick Boivin going against him, Dan DeRoccolo, and neither of these guys started in their respective teams' games last night.
Yeah, and both of them are really, really solid. We've said as much as we can about Dan DeRoccolo. 11-9 on the season, though. A lot of those losses really are not his fault in any way. He's one of the best goaltenders in the NOJHL, but so is Patrick Boivin, who's 345 goals against average. He's not the main, well, he started the most amount of games, but I would say that his backup, Dryden Riley's had the better numbers so far this season. But overall, both, it doesn't matter where you are, goals are going to come at a premium today.
And starting for the Powassan Voodoos, you've got Alexander Case, the newcomer Braden Viz, who had quite the debut last night. Up front, you got Reese Smetham, Cameron Lemke, and Ryan Patrick for the Powassan Voodoos. On the Timmins Rock side, Ethan Albert, Thomas Beard, Kyle Trottier, Lucas Lowe, and Hayden Renard are the starters for the Rock. And this game is underway. It's poked off the stick of Beard and sent out. Lemke finds it, plays that one back to Case, who shoots it up the right side boards. A little miscommunication there between Powassan players as the puck comes back to the near side. Smetham sends it into the Rock zone. In behind the net. That's Longhurst McIntyre who sends it down the ice, quickly corralled by the Voodoos in their own end. Looking to send it down the ice is Parker McClelland, and he'll get it dumped in. Very quickly on it again, Longhurst McIntyre. But he gets stopped in his tracks there. The Voodoos trying to force the turnover. It came in front of the net, but nobody in a green shirt there. It's sent down the ice and chased into the zone by, looked like Romaniak. And Romaniak still trying to get it on those far side boards. It's knocked away from that area and sent out of the zone. Picked up quickly by Svaric. This is the top line for the Timmins Rock. He sends it back to Trache across the left side. Shot coming in from Albert, and it looked like Duracolo may have gotten a piece of it. Sent around to the near side boards and shot out of the zone. Trache picks it up quickly, sending it to Romaniak. Sends it to the middle to Wells. He puts the shot on net, and it's turned aside off the right side pad of Duracolo. On the far side boards, maybe looked like a bit of a high hit. Someone got their glove up in a Voodoos player's face. But the play continues. We're 2 minutes in here at the Sportsplex. Last game of the 2023 calendar year. Both teams looking to head into the Christmas break with a victory. Timmins Rock are 1-0 against the Voodoos so far this season. Going down on the far side was Matthew McMillan. Play back in behind the net. MacArthur there for the Rock. He's able to get it out, and now it's chased down the ice by Jack Kelly. Kelly tried to pass it to the middle, gets it back. The former Voodoo put it on net, but it goes just wide with too much traffic collapsing in the slot. Out to the neutral zone. That's McMillan still out there. It's knocked off of his stick, and it's MacArthur coming back in. MacArthur puts it in front, and that one's turned aside. Gallagher picks it up, tries to send it to the corner. Case chasing it for the Voodoos, knocks it around behind the net. Picked up back there by Braden Viz. Viz sends it out. And it will be icing called against the Powassan Voodoos. We played 3:06 without a stoppage in play to begin this game.
Well, and you see the pressure right from Timmins right off the opening draw. They've gotten 2 shots, though. They've had a lot more chances than that. You mentioned Jack Kelly again. Played for the Voodoos last season. He's a member of Timmins after starting the season with Coburg, the Cougars of the OJHL. 3 points in his first 3 games with the Rocks so far since the trade. So he's not been somebody who's been shy of being on the scorecard.
Jack Kelly and Ethan Albert, the 2 Rock players that don't have names on their jerseys, but they are the 2 lowest numbers on the team, so it'll be easy to remember that. Lions will line up in the middle to take the draw against Chase Thompson, who was one of the guests on the Frontline podcast earlier this week. That one shot in and wide of the net. McMillan picks it up, and he gets it backhanded out to the neutral zone. The Frontline podcast available wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Listen, share, like, and subscribe for some great Voodoos and North Bay Battalion content. Sent it to the zone, right on net, and it's turned away. Boisvan was able to snuff that play out, coming out of the corner. Now Ricci, who was the other guest on the podcast, sends it across the far side. Down the right wing now. That looks like that's Dawson going in. Caleb Dawson had a beautiful finish on a tic-tac-toe play for a goal in yesterday's game. It's Ricci now on the near side, trying to push it forward, drop back to Russo. He gets it up to Beatty, and he dumps it into the near side corner, and the Voodoos will get some fresh legs on the ice. The Rock take their time. They bring it out of the zone. Lucas Lowe rushing in. In along the end boards. Renard trying to help him out. Good pressure there by McClelland. Lost the puck, and the pass went up high in the zone, but nobody there for the Rock. Longhurst McIntyre circles his own net in the Rock zone and sends it down the ice. Tipped as it went over the blue line, off the end boards right towards Duracolo, and he holds on to it. for a stoppage in play for 48 gone in this first period.
Well, these guys have played each other once this year. It was a 4-1 Timmins victory. We talked about our player to watch, Harry Clark. 2 goals in that game. And, of course, both goaltenders that are starting this game started that game as well. So
Redirected, save made, rebound chance. That one goes wide. Great chance there for Romaniak, but he could not bury it. Now coming out of the zone, Patrick gets it out. This is a Timmins Rock team that can score. Their top 5 scorers all have more than 30 points on the season.
Yeah, something the Voodoos don't have this year is just one person who's taken the point total themselves and gone wild with it. A lot of their point scorers it's kind of spread out throughout the lineup, which is a good thing, but they're still missing that one big difference maker that can make it go. Of course, Ray Smith, one of those guys who had a chance with the battalion right now.
There's a chance as Svarich tries to send it in, but that one gets blocked. And now the Voodoos on the counterattack. They turn it over. There's a chance. Clark swings and misses. Harry Clark is the team leader. 17 goals, 40 assists for 57 points this season. Playing on that top line with Svarich and Romaniak. And both those guys are in the top 5 in scoring for the Timmins Rock this season as well. That's Chase Thompson. Sets it up to Macmillan coming in over the blue line, but they are going to call offside. We just talked about Thompson as well as Carson Ricci. They were guests on the Frontline podcast. Tell me a little bit about what they spoke to you and Courtney Kenny about.
Well, a lot of it was mostly about the team in general, as well as the just how they've been liking it. I mean, Thompson. One of the interesting things with Thompson too is he's had a solid year so far, but man, he's had a lot of chances on the ice that just haven't been able to put the puck past the net. He's been robbed a couple of times by the opposing goaltenders, so expect his point total to go up even further.
Here's Viz with a shot, and that one's poked away. Nice save by Boisvent. Rebound chance is sent off a stick over the glass and out of play. I've heard, and this may have been mentioned once or twice, but Chase Thompson also lived in the house that Ben Long
yes.
currently lives in.
Yeah, he does. That was a pretty good piece. I forgot about that. Good thing you brought that one up.
Well, you clearly haven't done a lot of games with Ben Long then, because he's brought it up once or twice.
I'm sure he has.
There's a shot from the point, and the save is made by Boisvent, kicking that one away. It's a nice save by Boisvent. There was a lot of traffic with that puck coming through from the point. Just the second shot of the game so far for the Voodoos. The 5th one coming in from the Rock, and DeRoccolo is able to stop it. Dumped in by Powassan. Puck comes to the near side boards. Longhurst McIntyre sends it to the far side, and now it's back across, but it's off the stick, and Braden Viz just jumps up, pitches in, dumps it in, and plays it right towards the goaltender. And Boisvent had to be quick there with Smetham chasing him down.
Yeah, Viz looking really good in his first game yesterday, picking up an assist, making some really good defensive plays. Found himself on the third line with McClellan on the third pairing. Ended up all his way on the first pairing with Alexander Case.
The Timmins Rock go offside. You talked about the Powassan Voodoos not having, that premier goal scorer this year, but they also have been hit by some injuries. I mean, Alex Little, who is a defenseman, but is usually one of the top point getters for this team. He's been out. I mean, I think he's played in less than 10 games this season.
Nine games, 9 points. So when he's out there, he's great. It's just getting him healthy enough to stay out there.
Especially your captain, too. There's a backhanded chance that goes wide of the net, and then DeRoccolo is run into by that Timmins Rock player. I believe that was Jack Anderson. Didn't see the number until later in the play. The arm went up from the referee, so there is going to be a call here unless Lemke gets through. A beautiful chance there. The officials lose sight of the puck. The whistle is blown down, and we're going to have our first penalty of the game. Goaltender interference, the call against Timmins.
Well, I think the Voodoos get a little bit lucky because right after that interference, there was a bit of a hold. I didn't see the exact number of who it was. but there was a hold that was put on there, and I thought originally that was what the penalty was going to be until the ref didn't blow his whistle. But a great opportunity for the Voodoos, who were 1 for 2 last night. They did find themselves in a lot of penalty trouble last night, including Cameron Lemke, who got 2 assists in that game, getting a game misconduct in the third.
The Powassan Voodoos come in with the check that. The Powassan Voodoos come in with the 3rd-ranked power play in the league. There's a shot, a pass across to the right side, the shot, and that one is stopped.
Well, even you see this on the penalty kill here. Lots of high pressure there from Timmins. They're really putting the Voodoos on their back foot early on this hockey game.
And that one is stopped. Excuse me, I was looking at the home stats. The Powassan Voodoos have the best power play, or the 3rd best power play in the league when they are the home team. That drops down to 4th in the league overall at 25%. 30 power play goals on 120 chances.
Well, since we're looking at stats, one of the stats that's really interesting is, of course, the last time these faced each other was in Timmins. Timmins has one of the best home records, 13-2, but they're 8-7-2 on the road, whereas the Voodoos have a stronger home record than they do on the road. So maybe some of those stats go in the Voodoos' favor a little bit, but Timmins really has been the better team early on in this hockey game.
They are the 6th-ranked penalty kill in the league coming into this game at 78.3%. Obviously, the coaching staff would like to see those numbers improve. Brandon Perry, the head coach and general manager of this Timmins Rock team.
Well, something Powassan's really struggled with is their neutral zone game and trying to gain zone entry. And even here, Timmins doing a fantastic job of not letting them set up their cycle play in the zone, and that's killed off most of this penalty so far.
Yeah, less than a minute to go on the power play. Voodoos finally setting something up here in the zone. Patrick into the corner. That's Smetham. Sends it to Patrick again. Now at the line, a pass across, and that one is turned away and sent out of the zone. Tucker Shields on it. And we are getting a tripping call coming here.
And Smetham knows it's him. He's going right to the box immediately.
And so that ends the Powassan power play prematurely. They had 1 or 2 decent chances in that, but most of it was spent just trying to get the puck through the neutral zone, and now we'll have 4-on-4 for about 25 seconds, and then the Timmins Rock will have their power play.
And what's really scary about it is Timmins has done such a good job with their speed but control of the puck, and when they're given some open ice, they make a lot of magic happen.
And that's Clark. Just trickles off the end of his stick, allowing the Voodoos to get it out.
We almost saw that right there with Clark as he went through a couple of Voodoo players in their own zone.
Clark takes down Ricci. Voodoos get it back. They turn it right back over. Coming in is Svaric. Driving wide and sticks with a puck on the boards. Power play, or the penalty is ended on the Timmins side, and so now they've got a power play, but it's Macmillan moving it over the blue line into the attacking zone for the Voodoos. Gives it to Thompson. Thompson takes a hit, and now the Voodoos will regroup and go into PK mode, of which they are 8th in the league coming into tonight's game. Beard to Clark across to the far side. That's Svaric with it. Svaric down the left wing, takes a shot, save made by Duraclo. Back up to the blue line. Cadio Fredette holds it from the blue line, and he sends it in. Blocker save made by Duraclo. Now it's Clark. Gets around the defender, drops it back. Cadio Fredette with the shot, save made, and the rebound pushed away but not cleared. It's Clark on it again with 45 seconds remaining on the power play. Clark circles the net. Cadio Fredette now to the left side. Svaric shoots it, that goes just wide, and the Voodoos still can't get it out. Cadio Fredette playing it on the boards, back up to Cadio Fredette. Shot comes in, save made by Duraclo, and the Voodoos clear. There's still 30 seconds left though on this power play, which was already a shortened power play.
Well, despite that, the Voodoos playing a really good box formation in that penalty kill, as not a lot of opportunities, a lot of block shots in there as well. So a good job by the Voodoos. Just needed to clear it out a little bit earlier, but you got to give them a lot of credits for their defensive system.
And this is the best power play in the league by percentage, 32.9%, second in the amount of goals scored in the league. There's another shot that came in, blocker saved by Duraclo, out of the box to Smetham, and we're back to 5-on-5. And what a job by the Voodoos to kill off that one. I mean, the Rock gave it everything they had on their first foray into the man advantage.
Yeah, the Voodoos are going to have to figure out, as it's a very high press here from the Timmins Rock. If they can find a way to get it into the neutral zone behind the forwards and maybe cherry pick a little bit of their forwards up there, they might have an opportunity to get some good odd man rushes.
The Rock with 46 power play goals. They trail just the Espanola Paper Kings, who have 49, but they have scored those 49 and 40 more chances than the Rock have. There's a chance coming in, and it's a high save made by Boisvert. Rebound right at the side of the net, and what a job by Trache to get down and block that one in front of his own goaltender. At the line, Sturge looking to keep it in. He sends it wide of the net and into the corner as Trache will pick that one up, and the Voodoos will make a change. Trache comes forward, now drops back, and will keep dropping back. In behind the net now. And finally sends it down the left side for Lions. He dumps it in, now behind Lions, or behind the net is Lions. Lost the puck on the boards, and Armitage throws a huge hit on Caden Dubroy. Anderson coming in, offside is the call. Maybe saved by the bell there, though, as we will take a break. It's scoreless in the first.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Welcome back. I'm Matthew Sukram alongside Ben Sargent. And Ben, really the difference in this period has been the defensive effort from the Powassan Voodoos to keep this game scoreless.
Yeah, it's been a really interesting game so far. The Voodoos haven't had a really good offensive opportunity. It feels like they're going to have to get one that is going to be a bit of a dirty goal. That's either going to it's going to bounce off of something. They're going to get a good opportunity, good rebound. They haven't put a lot of pressure on the Timmins netminder yet so far in this game. On the flip side of that, Timmins is doing an amazing job at offensive zone pressure, and really they're doing a great job of commanding the point at commanding the puck at the point and allowing their offense to be quarterbacked from the back end. So, but on the flip side of that, Duracolo doing a great job so far, and the Voodoos doing a good job of letting him see a lot of the pucks coming right at him.
Shields moving it through the neutral zone, knocked off his stick, and Clark goes the other way. Passes off to Svarsh, now to Romaniak in front, and a shot is blocked by Duracolo.
That's something the Rock might need a little bit more of, those transition opportunities, as they've been able to get the puck in the zone, and then they start their cycle play. But that was a great opportunity, probably the best opportunity Timmins have had.
Yeah, Romaniak had a lot of time in a good scoring area. Case makes a nice move into the zone, passes across, but the Timmins Rock are plugging up that middle zone lane and not really letting the Voodoos have those clean passes through that area through the first 14 and a half minutes of this period.
Yeah, they're going to have to get creative with some of these passes. It's going to be one of those ones where you're going to have to know where the puck is going to go before it gets there. And Smetham almost had a great opportunity. He just needed to get there a little bit earlier, and it would have been a really nice play.
Lemke racing down the left side, going into the corner now, in behind the net, tried to play it in front. That one got blocked again by the Timmins Rock. Now Lemke tries to push it over the blue line. That one's knocked away by Kelly. And Jack Kelly will go the other way, taking the shot, and that one rings high. Somehow stays in play. Went right off the top of the glass. I thought that went over the glass and hit the stanchion behind the boards there, but play continues. And Kelly moving in over the line, passes to the middle, now to left side. Try to sneak it back across, but it's blocked. Nice job there by Caleb Dawson. And he dumps it down. This one will be icing. And you're right about the pressure. The Timmins Rock do not let up. I mean, every single line they've thrown out there is pushing the puck into the the Powassan zone.
Yeah, and the Voodoos really struggle with the neutral zone game, especially early on in games. And it's something where they usually tend to have to dump it down and dump and chase, and they're not able to really establish themselves great passing in between the two blue lines. That's going to be a key for them if they want to get something going. And so far in this period, they haven't, and that's why Timmins has had so many great opportunities on the offensive side versus the defensive side.
Rousseau behind the net. Got into his first game yesterday after dealing with a lingering injury. Now it's Beatty with a shot. That gets through. Goes to the far side corner. Down the line and sent back along the end boards. Trying to pick that one up, sending it to the middle. Wells blocks it. Nice poke check there to keep the puck in the Timmins zone, but the Rock take control, and they move down the ice, trying to bust through the seam. Now Jack Kelly with a chance, and that one's taken away. Viz goes the other way now. This is his second game as a member of the Voodoos after a trade earlier this week.
Well, you would have loved to see Beatty be able to push up on that rush instead of Viz getting the puck there, but having to go off for a change, unfortunately, at the end of his shift.
Sturge puts it on net, and now there's a lot of pushing and shoving going on in front of the net. It draws a crowd, and there's two players that are going down right in the slot area. I believe one of them is Ethan Albert for the Rock and Jaden Sturge of the Voodoos, and the officials finally break that up.
Very reminiscent of what happened last night against the Rapids with Lemke ended up getting kicked out of that game, getting game misconduct in a very similar scrum except up against the boards. And luckily for both teams, nobody getting sent off with about 3:40 to go in the opening period.
Off the draw, Macmillan plays it into the near side corner. The puck bouncing around and comes to the blue line, and it's picked up by the Rock, and they move it out of the zone. Nice play to get the puck off of Lowe.
Chase Thompson absolutely getting one into his man. Great shoulder check there.
And Chase Thompson looking to hit everybody on the ice now. He's got the puck, comes over the blue line, passes across. It goes off the boards, sent in high. Chance at the side of the net, goes off the mesh. Picked up behind the net by Macmillan. At the line, shot coming in, and Boivin makes the save. His 8th so far of the game, and we got 3 minutes remaining here in the scoreless first period.
Well, Matt, the biggest difference between these two teams right now is the passing ability, and we've seen that. We talked about this with the Battalion a lot last year, but the Timmins Rock, their passes have been crisp. They've been to their man every time. With the Voodoos, it feels like they're just out of their reach, and like the player who should be receiving the pass should be about a step ahead of where they are, and it's causing some issues. And that's what's again hampering them offensively. Is they've had 9 shots, but they haven't had as many good opportunities as they could have had if their passing was a little bit crisper. So maybe that changes as this game goes on.
Again, both teams played last night. Both teams were at home in their respective bars last night, and they both picked up wins. That makes it 5 in a row for Timmins and 2 straight for the Powassan Voodoos.
Talked about how good the Voodoos are playing at home. They've only got 10 home games left this season, so even though we're almost at Christmas, it feels like it's almost near the end of the season in a way.
Yeah, they'll have a heavy dose of road games in the second half.
After tonight, they do get about a almost 3-week break as well.
Patrick plays it off the boards. It's picked off by Clark. Not the guy you want to turn the puck over to. Played down low now. The Rock pressing here. That's Harry Clark with it again. Pushed at the blue line, but kept the puck onside. Looking to move it down to Nyman. Nyman sends it. It's bouncing around in front of the net, but it's kept out of the back of the net, but not out of the zone. Now Clark again on it. Tries to drag that one around the defender there in Mason Rotundo. Clark still with the puck. Brings it back to the left side circle. Drops it at the boards for Cadio Fredette. They send it down low, and the shot from the sharp angle is stopped. Now Svarich picks it up. He circles back up high in the zone. Feeds it down to Clark in the corner. Clark being pressured again by Rotundo, and they're going to call a hold on that play as Nyman and Turner touch the puck.
Yeah, it's one of those penalties that you really should never give up. Those obstruction penalties, 9 times out of 10, you don't need to take them. And now what's going to happen is, again, we talked about how Timmins Rock have basically the best power play in the whole league, and they're going to get a great opportunity. And if the Voodoos are able to kill off the next 57 or 67 seconds, I should say, you're going to start the period off shorthanded as well. Either that or Timmins ends up getting a goal here and you end up starting the second period down 1.
And that's Rotundo in the box. He did a great job in the far side blocking Clark, but then when they came around on the near side, there's a shot on net that just goes wide. I think they were just wearing them out. The Rock were just wearing out the Voodoos, and that's when you make those mistakes when you've been on the ice for too long.
You never get a chance to change. It's much more physically taxing to play defense than it is to play offense.
That's right. Nice steal at the line, but Shields sends it high over the glass and into the bench penalty box.
Trying to maybe say, wake up to Mason Rotundo maybe a little bit. But overall, this period has been very interesting, and in a way that we've seen both teams have great opportunities. It feels like the goaltenders haven't been taxed too much in this game because both teams have done a great job of keeping some high-scoring plays, keeping the shots away from the high-scoring areas. And even the Voodoos, who have been pressured in their defensive zone a lot, have done a great job of letting Duracolos see a lot of stuff and not making him move laterally too much.
Beard tries to bring it over, but that play is blown dead because of the offside. Beard had a couple of goals in last night's win over Iroquois Falls. If you saw the Powassan Voodoos bench and thought, hey, there looks like there's a little more room over there, that's because coaches Peter Goulet and Josh Hardman are not with the team tonight. They are actually with Team Canada East, and they will be playing for gold tomorrow after Team Canada East beat Sweden today in the semifinals of the World Junior A Challenge, which is taking place in Nova Scotia. So that gold medal game will take place tomorrow at 4 o'clock and will be airing on TSN. Nice poke check there by Lemke going in on the breakaway. Lemke drags it and gets denied as the 20-year-old from Blind River, Boisvin, makes the stop.
You know Lemke's he's putting his head in the air because he feels like he should have made a better attempt at that. Lemke getting a golden opportunity, picking the pocket right before the center ice line, and he does get Boivin to stretch, but he's not able to get the puck up in the air. And a great save by Boivin, but in a way, it was more of a bad play by Lemke to not be able to get that puck in the air. That was a golden opportunity.
Shot from the line, and that one stopped as well. 3 seconds to go in the period. Clark will hold on to it. And these teams will head to the locker room all evened as no one was able to put the puck in the net. It's scoreless after 20 minutes, and the Voodoos will have 53 seconds left to kill when they return to the ice.
Yeah, it's been a great first period so far. Again, what I said at the beginning, it's not going to be a lot of goals, and that's held true so far, but it does feel like that back can break at any point. Both teams have had great opportunities to get one by their respective netminders.
All right, he's Ben Sargent. I'm Matthew Sukram. We will take a break, and then we will be back for the second period in just a little bit. You're watching Powassan Voodoos Hockey on Flow Hockey and listening to it on the Frontline Broadcast YouTube channel.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Barry!
Huh?
I told you not to be scaring the customers.
Hey, Barry! Come on in for a bite. And bring Brianna with you.
For only 2 minutes up the hill, where you're only a stranger once.
Ready to embark on an electrifying adventure? Look no further than the Mitsubishi Outlander, available in gas or PHEV, the SUV that redefines excellence. Recently awarded the best midsize utility vehicle in Canada for 2023 by AJAC. This bold and sophisticated SUV delivers advanced performance, safety, and tech, plus peace of mind, with its standard super all-wheel control and the best warranty in the business. With red-hot deals and plenty in stock, your award-winning drive starts with the Mitsubishi Outlander.
Why is Northern Honda servicing more cars of all makes and models? Let's count the ways. 1. Our state-of-the-art facility has award-winning technicians. 2. Northern Honda has the lowest tire price guarantee, no matter what you drive. 3. The lowest synthetic oil change guarantee, and every 5th oil change is free for all makes and models. Plus, new Honda buyers get brake pads for life. See the service difference at Northern Honda, 1250 Seymour beside Home Depot.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay to see how we can serve you and the community every day. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
Welcome back. I'm Matthew Sukram alongside Ben Sargent. We're live at the Powassan Sportsplex, and 20 minutes in, we have no score. The Timmins Rock lead in shots 12-11, and they will also come out of the gates here with a 53-second power play, a dangerous spot for the Powassan Voodoos to be in at this point. Taking a look at the first period summary, as we said, no scoring and a couple of penalties to mention. Jack Anderson got called for goaltender interference at 8:09. During that power play, Reese Smetham got called for tripping at 9:45. And then at 18:53, Mason Rotundo got called for holding. And that is basically it through the first 20 minutes in what is the final game of the 2023 calendar year for both the Rock and the Powassan Voodoos, who, as we mentioned, these were the two teams in the East Division Finals last year. The Timmins Rock sweeping the Powassan Voodoos in that series, and they also beat Powassan 4-1 in their first meeting of the season earlier this year. That was back on October 20th in Timmins, a 4-1 win for the Rock. Powassan actually outshot the Rock 45-31 in that game, but Harry Clark had a 2-goal night, including a power play goal. Caden MacArthur had a goal as well, and Jack Anderson scored 2 himself. He scored a shorthanded goal. That was also he scored 1 goal, but it was a shorthanded empty net goal. So the only goal the Powassan Voodoos got in that game was off the stick of Ryan Patrick, and that came with 10 seconds left in the contest when they were already down 4-0.
Yeah, it's been it's kind of felt that way though recently with the Voodoos too. Even if you look at the game last night against the French River Rapids, they were 4-1 going to that third period. They ended up giving 2 unanswered goals and almost ended up losing that game, though. Tyson Wilcox did try for a goalie goal. Unfortunately, that was not to be, but still.
You can't score if you're not trying, right?
Exactly.
So here we go. And both these teams were certainly trying in that first period, and here comes Harry Clark over the blue line. Sends it across to Svaric. Holding it, now circling, takes a shot, scores! It took 23 seconds off the clock in the second period for the Rock to get their first goal of the night. Svaric gets it done on the power play. It's 1-0 Timmins.
Well, coming into this game, what did we say? It was that top line, but Svaric is 21 goals coming into this game. Now it's 22nd. Harry Clark's got 40 assists. I haven't looked at the numbers, but I guarantee you he's probably assisted all of them at this point. And what a great shot there as it's that's exactly how you want to start if you're the Timmins Rock. And what a beautiful shot. And just like that, that's their opening goal, and we'll see how that changes the flow of this hockey game. As it looks like there's a delayed penalty now coming up to the Voodoos.
I was going to say, this is exactly the kind of start you want if you are the road team and if you are coming in to a period with a power play. You have got to take advantage when you are the top team in the division. You're playing the team that's chasing you, and you have the best power play in the league.
Absolutely. Caden DuBroy going off for a slash. And again, when it rains, it pours. Seconds after they just gave up the opening goal. And we'll see what they can do on this power play.
There's a shot that gets blocked off a stick. It goes up and over the glass and out of play. You talked about Harry Clark and his 40 assists. I think he'll probably get an assist on that power play goal. That will give him 41. He is second in the league in that category, right behind Espinola's Spencer Horgan, who has 42 going into tonight's action. Espinola has 3 of the top 4 assist leaders. Horgan at 42, and then Ferguson at 40, and Signoretti at 38. The Espinola Paper Kings are a team that likes to share the puck.
Absolutely. But it was funny, too, because when we saw them in the last game, Signoretti was probably on the ice for at least 45 minutes of that hockey game, it felt like.
Yeah, he gets a lot of ice time. Cadio Fredette sending it in. Save made. Rebound. Turned aside. A third chance is sent back to the point. Cadio Fredette to the far side. That's Svaric, who has the lone goal. Working in now. Puts on the brakes. Svaric back to the half boards and now sent to the near side to Clark. Clark at the top of the circle. Passes across to Svaric. Svaric lets it go off his stick. Recoups the puck and he will circle net, sending the puck to Clark. Clark falls down, and it's Tucker Shields coming out of the zone with it, but he could not force it too far ahead of himself. And now Powassan turns the puck over. Clark coming in, but he goes offside.
Yeah, Wells offside there on the left hand, and unfortunately for Shields, he pushes that puck out in front of him a little bit too far, or else he would have taken advantage of a pretty rare Harry Clark mistake as he just loses his edge and falls right in the Powassan blue line. Again, the Rock coming out swinging so far early on. Very good chance it could easily be 2-0 right now.
Clark, 5th in league scoring with 57 points. 23 power play assists for Harry Clark.
Absolutely insane. Well, and another guy for assists, though, is you look at Cadio Fredette, 29 assists. He's got 30 points on the year.
Yeah, just the one goal. Behind the net, that's Kelly. His pass is blocked by Viz. So the puck comes to the line. Gallagher sending it wide. This is the secondary power play unit for the Timmins Rock here. Gallagher plays it into the corner with 5 seconds left on this power play. The shot, that one's blocked. Getting all of that one, Zach Turner. And the penalty is over. We're back to 5-on-5, and now we'll see if the Powassan Voodoos can get anything going the other way. And this is the first time the puck this period is inside the Timmins Rock zone. And it's almost 3 minutes into the period. Now Lowe with the shot. That gets blocked. Lowe looks to pick it back up. Sends it to the middle. And Renard's shot goes up high. And it touches the roof, and it will be called dead. 3:03 gone.
Well, it almost looked like Bove wasn't even in his net there, but he was going around towards the near side. I looked over and I'm like, there's an empty net. Either way, though, again, very similar to what we saw in that first period, where the Timmins Rockets just have so much control inside of the Powassan Voodoos zone, and they did finally get a goal to start off the period, but they've had a couple of really good chances. And the Voodoos, again, they're not able to do anything in the neutral zone with the puck. Case in point, as Regis just gives it up.
Anderson gets it knocked off his stick, and there's a hit on Patrick, and as the Rock touch the puck, the play is blown down.
Very
and there is a penalty going to be called. Ethan Albert getting called there. They're going to call tripping on that play.
Very interesting, because that looked like a clean hit. It was a hard hit, but he kind of hip checks him. And I don't
Yeah.
know if that's something that...
I thought maybe it might be called for, at first when I thought they might call knee on knee there for a second, but no, when...
It looked like he got all his hip in it, but
Yeah.
obviously that's one where the home fans will think it's one thing, the visiting fans will think it's another, but at least from our angle here, I was surprised they called that.
Maybe you could have called interference. I don't think Patrick had the puck, right? So
no, but I think he just got rid of it, so it's one of those.
Case is offside. But either way, it's a big opportunity for the Powassan Voodoos here.
Yeah, and I don't think the Voodoos are complaining in any way, and they're going to have to take advantage. This is the perfect chance for them to get back into it, not just from a scoreboard perspective, but also from a momentum perspective.
In the neutral zone, Case sends it across to the far side. Shields puts on the brakes, turns back, sends it to the point to Lemke. Lemke kicks it up to his stick, takes the shot, and it just goes wide of the net. Hard shot that ricochets off the boards and comes back out to the neutral zone where the Voodoos regroup, and Reese Smetham sends it up to Patrick. Ryan Patrick tries to play it up front. That gets past everybody. Shot coming in. Stop. Rebound chance. They score. Ryan Patrick has tied the game for Powassan on the power play.
What a huge goal. And the Voodoos get a little lucky there as originally that puck actually goes through traffic, hits off the post. But Ryan Patrick is there to put in the rebound. And that's why it's so important to always make sure as a winger on the far side that you're crashing the net looking for any sort of rebound or second chance opportunity, because if he gave up on that puck, that would not have gone in, and Patrick gets probably one of the easier goals that he's going to score in the NOJHL, but either way, and we talked about that momentum, an absolute huge way for the Voodoos to get back into this hockey game.
Only easy because Boivin had no idea where that puck was. He was a 41-point scorer last year, 18 goals for Patrick, so you know this year he would love to break the 20-goal barrier.
He's only 9 goals away now. That's his 11th of the year.
Nice pass down the ice. He's going to have a chance here, and just running out of steam at the end of that play was Caden Dubroy. Now another chance in front, and Harry Clark blocking that one. So the team's leading scorer showing a little bit of defensive awareness on that play. 5:15 to go in the second, or 5:15 gone in the second period, and it's 1-1. We had no goals through the first 20 minutes, and we've had 2 through the first 5 of this one.
Well, Justin Rousseau's back there with Parker McClellan. Makes a really nice play to get around his man, as well as puts a big hit up there on Darby McCarthy.
Chase Thompson into the corner. It comes back around to the near side. Wells dumps it in. Rousseau tried to clear it. And the Voodoos come in to help him out, and it is McCarthy who dumps that puck in, and the Voodoos get some fresh legs out there as well again. That one dumped into the Powassan zone, picked up behind the net by Patrick. Check that, Tucker Shields waits with it, sends it around to the near side to Sturge. Sturge with a long stretch pass down the ice, and that is going to be a hard fall into the boards for Zach Turner, who was being hauled down by Trache. I mean, that was a really nice looking play. It's too bad for Turner that he could never get to the puck, because that was an obvious hold by Trache. I think actually they're calling interference on this one.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, that one is for sure a penalty.
Trache not happy as he slams the penalty box closed, obviously, but that was pretty as blatant as you could get. Now they were a little intertangled, but still, either way, Turner very lucky though that when he goes, he kind of almost went headfirst in the boards there. He got very lucky that that wasn't an injury.
So the Voodoos tied the game on the power play. Now they have a chance to take the lead on their third power play of the game. Ricci to the right side, McMillan In behind the net, now comes back out to the far side, drops it back. Up to the line, now to the half boards, and now skating back is McCarthy. Shot comes in, it goes high. Macmillan behind the net, centers it, and the shot, I don't know if he got all of that or if Zach Turner sent it into some traffic there, but another chance coming in from McMillan, and it goes wide. To the point, Ricci's shot comes in. From the near side now, goes off the side of the net. Now Turner. Couple of guys whacking at it behind the net, but it's stopped and held onto by Boivin.
Yeah, and McMillan is one of those guys who started off really, really hot, but he has 37 points in the year, but he's been stuck in that mid-30s for points totals for weeks now. He had a pretty decent lead on the team point getter, and coming into today, he is now tied with Cameron Lemke with 37 points in this hockey game, and really, he's played so well. You'd love to see him get on the score sheet and get kind of that point total back up.
Shields with it on the far side, circling behind the net. Less than a minute to go on the Voodoos power play. Case to the left side, the shot scores! Reith Smetham with the goal, and the Voodoos take the lead with their second power play goal of the period. It's 2-1.
Well, Matt, it shows you how fast momentum can change, and we saw it very beginning of the period, less than a minute into the period, and the Timmins Rock come away with that big goal that they were chasing for the entirety of the first period, finally breaking the deadlock. It looks like they were going to get another one. They get an immediate power play. Next thing you know, the Voodoos get a chance on the power play, and they take advantage of it as they've now back-to-back power play goals, and all of a sudden 2 unanswered goals gives them the lead here, almost at the midway mark of the hockey game.
What a turn of events that was. Like we said, you knew Timmins was going to be going for it coming out of the gate on that power play, but ever since then, the Powassan Voodoos have been able to take advantage of the opportunities that they've been given.
It's good to see Shields get back on the scoreboard again. He's another guy whose point totals went a little bit lower than where they were this time last year, but he's slowly and surely collecting some points as the schedule gets closer to the end of the year. You get a whistle as the puck goes out of play off a Voodoo stick in their own zone.
8:23 gone in the second period, and the Voodoos also out shooting the Rock now 15-14. Talked about how evenly matched these teams really were on paper anyway coming into this game. And this game has not disappointed. There's a turnover, shot, save made, rebound chance, and that goes wide as well. And the Voodoos now just looking to get it out. This is where they've gotten themselves into trouble when they haven't been able to clear that puck. And the Timmins Rock just keep the pressure on, and especially against this top line. It's Clark out there going into the net on the backhand. Now he turns, sends it forward, and that one is deflected high. The Voodoos still can't clear. Kept in the zone by Svarich. Svarich going in. Drops it back. Gallagher with a chance now. Takes a shot. Save made. And now turned away by the defense of the Voodoos. It's down the ice. Down the left wing side. Patrick, one of the goal scorers tonight, leaves it in the corner for Shields. Shields comes out in front, but it's knocked off his stick. And now the Voodoos will make a change while the Timmins Rock slowly bring it forward.
Well, the Rock have not been able to take advantage of some of the situations they've had. There was a wide open net earlier in that rush for the Rock that it was just fanned on. A couple of great opportunities for Timmins, but they're just going to have to find a way to finish those chances off.
Almost halfway through this second period. 2-1 the score for the Voodoos. Cadillo Fredette gets it out. Oh, and McCarthy runs in to Case. And that allows the Rock to go down the ice, but a great defensive play to break it up by Cameron Lemke. And now on the counterattack, shot comes in, save is made by Boivin. What a sequence that was. That had all kinds of trouble written across the game sheet for the Voodoos, but the Rock go offside, and we will take a break. It's 2-1 Powassan.
This period is brought to you by Canada Alumni Perks. Get information on special events and news or access the Alumni Job Portal. Visit canadacollege.ca/perks for more information.
Well, we've been talking about him all game, and Patrick Boivin, 20-year-old out of Blind River, has been all over this league. He got his first taste of NOJHL action back in 2018-19 when he got 2 games in with the Blind River Beavers. He spent the next year getting just 1 game in a call-up with the Hearst Lumberjacks before finally sticking around first with the Blind River Beavers. Got 13 games in with them, while the Espanola Express picked him up, and he played 24 games there to end the 2021-22 season. And now he's been with the Timmins Rock for 2 years. And so like I said, the 20-year-old has been all over this league, and he's put up really good numbers everywhere he's been, and these are the kinds of games that show that experience. I mean, he made a number of really good saves earlier on in this game, but the Powassan Voodoos, with 2 power play goals, have made all the difference to this point right now.
Absolutely. We talked about how big of a game this is. Now there's an opportunity.
There's a chance. It goes off the side of the net.
Bad giveaway in their own zone from the Timmins Rock. Almost makes the Voodoos go up 2.
We haven't seen them do that at all tonight. And now the Voodoos looking to take advantage. They play it to the point. Shot coming in. It goes high. Down to the near side. McClelland behind the net to Russo. Russo centering. He had Dawson there, but couldn't get the shot off. And now the puck comes out of the zone, and the Voodoos are chasing. Just to make an amendment here, as icing is not going to be called here as we keep the play going. There's a chance, and they miss it. What an opportunity for Parker McClelland. Wide open net, wide open shot, but he could not bury it. And the Voodoos were that close to taking a 3-1 lead.
Well, he kind of put a little bit too much oomph into that shot, but what an opportunity. Very similar to that Ryan Patrick-esque goal, where it was, again, those rebound opportunities.
And Boivin, again, not happy with himself. I don't know if he's just not picking up the puck on those plays, or if he's getting screened by his own defense or what, but that's twice now. He has not seen the puck come across to the near side and just has not followed it.
And it doesn't help that the Rock aren't picking up that weak side player, and what's happening is that it's giving them an opportunity where the Voodoos are able to easily pick up those rebounds and have really good opportunities.
There's a chance coming in. Blocker save made by the goaltender Girocolo. The Rock recover the puck in the neutral zone. Armitage plays it forward. Coming in the zone, Jaden Lyons. He gets knocked down. And that's going to be a call against the Powassan Voodoos. And again, just to make an amendment, this is actually the second last game of the 2023 calendar year for the Timmins Rock. They actually play on Thursday. This is not their last game before the Christmas break.
The last one for the Voodoos, however, but that's what I was going to mention that earlier, where again, you talked about how crucial that this game is. But to consider the fact that you're going on about a 3-week break, it's more crucial now for the Voodoos to pick up these 2 points. But the Rock are going to have a great opportunity here on the power play.
There's a shot that gets through. Case tries to send it out. There's a hard hit. Svarich coming in. His shot gets blocked. Wells picks it up now. Sends it in front to Beard. That puck comes to the point. Cadio Fredette somehow keeps it in. Plays it across to Svarich at the circle. The shot. And that one goes wide. 1:28 to go in the power play for the Timmins Rock. Their third of the game here. Clark. Svarich. Cadio Fredette sends it in. It goes high. Picked up by Lemke, and he sends it down the ice.
Another really solid power play here so far from Timmins, but I think they're going to have to try to get Duraculo to go a little bit more east and west. A lot of their shots have been going right into his body, and they're not able to pick up a lot of the rebounds, something the Voodoos have been doing. That's why they're up 2-1 right now.
Check that. This is their 4th power play of the game. There's a chance right in front of the net. Duraculo pushes it away. Gallagher recovers it, falling down to the blue line, and somehow he keeps it in. Gallagher gets the puck back across the right side. Svarch, one-timer, and it goes wide. 35 seconds remaining on this power play for Timmins. Kelly sends it across to the far side. Rock player gets tripped up, but there's no call there. And the Voodoos are able to send it down the ice as Patrick chases it. But the Rock recover. And with 15 seconds to go, they'll have one more rush into the zone with the man advantage. Cadio Fredette plays it in the corner. Now Kelly finds it. Kelly behind the net. Sends it to Gallagher across to the right side. Shot, and a nice play there by Case to break up that pass. But they turn it over. Lions centering, and the shot is into the pads of Duraculo. And the Voodoos survive that power play, even with that last-ditch effort there.
Yeah, no one there from the Rock to pick up the rebound. Something that we've seen. You got to crash the net. Again, when you look at the chances for the Voodoos, both times they're off rebounds. They're off these second chance opportunities. The Rock are able to get that first shot in, but they're not taking advantage afterwards.
2-1 the score for the Powassan Voodoos. And the 3 goals in tonight's game have all come in this period, and they've all come on the power play.
Yeah, special teams. I don't know, going into this game we would say that special teams was going to be a big point. But that being said, both teams have done a great job of taking advantage of the man advantage.
I felt that might be, we talked about them being evenly matched up. I felt like the Timmins power play, if they can get a couple, that might be the difference in this game, considering they have the top power play in the league, and the Powassan Voodoos are near the middle of the pack when it comes to their penalty kills. So I really felt like special teams, that was going to be an area that the Voodoos were going to have to be careful of. But so far, so good. They're 3 for 4 on the penalty kill.
Yeah, and again, it's just the one thing I think I'd like to see a little bit more from Timmins is like just getting those second chance opportunities, and crashing the net a little bit more.
Here comes a play. Lions tries to play it back. Patrick turns it back over, and then Lions fans on the shot. Stretch pass out to Patrick over the blue line. Puts on the brakes, steps into the boards, and sends it in towards the end boards. Nyman's there, tries to clear it. Voodoos stop it and get a shot on the goaltender, Poivin, who plays it to the near side. Comes out to the neutral zone. Shot right back in. That's Nyman there. He plays it forward. Stretch pass in. Short breakaway chance. And it's blocked by Duraculo. Jaden Lyons has had a couple of chances this shift. Now Gallagher coming in, and he cannot send the one-timer past Duraculo. Big scrum up along the boards here. Someone's lost a stick. It's Rotundo of the Voodoos. And Rotundo's going to come out of the zone to grab his stick while the puck is still deep in the zone. The Voodoos pick it up. Patrick circles the zone and goes in. It's a 2-on-2 coming in. The shot goes high. McClellan plays it in the corner. Around to the far side. That is Lemke. Lemke gets stood up as he came off the boards. But Lemke gets the puck back. Now Lemke tries to put it in front of the net. And Boivin snuffs out that attack. 3:54 remaining in the second period. It is 2-1 for the Voodoos.
I think in that last stretch of play, there was a really good example of how both teams are trying to do these stretch passes to make their breakout game work. The Voodoos are getting the breakout pass to work, but they're giving it to a man where there's where he's going basically 1 versus 2 against the defense. Before, the stretch pass was a little bit deeper towards the blue line, and all of a sudden it was a forward. It was 1-on-1, and the forward had that momentum, that forward momentum, so he was easily able to beat his man into the zone.
Voodoos into the zone again. Smatham drops it back, the shot, and that one stopped. I don't know if that got through to Powassan or if the Voodoos forward McCarthy blocked his teammate's shot, but it was a nice looking play to enter the zone. Puck still in the zone. Sent to the far side. That's Thompson there. Knocked off his stick and knocked out of the zone, and I think they're going to call offside there. 3:11 to play in the second period. 2-1 for the Voodoos.
Well, of course, these teams, these two teams have a lot of history. As last year, the Rock won the division and then went on to actually win the entire NOJHL, including after the Voodoos took down the Hearst Lumberjacks, ended up facing in the playoffs. It didn't go very well, I guess safe to say, as they got swept by the Rock, but I think they're going to look for a little bit of redemption this year.
And the Rock round one. That was more of a tongue twister than I thought it was going to be. They won round 1, 4-1 earlier this season on October 20th. That was in Timmins. And now the Voodoos looking to return the favor, but we've still got a lot of hockey left to play. 2.5 minutes to go in this period. Again, all 3 goals have come on the power play in this second period. Down the right side, Thompson sends it to the middle. Pass it left side, they score! What a goal! Caden Dubroy with his first of the night. And the Powassan Voodoos jump out ahead. It's 3-1.
Well, we've seen this time after time. Caden Dubroy is 8th of the year. I feel like he's scored more than that. But he has been so good this year for the Voodoos so far, especially at home, getting some crucial goals. He got one against Espanola, and he gets one here against the Timmins Rock. What a nice play, and that's part of that, again, stretching out your goaltender, making the move east to west, something the Rock have not been able to do to Rockalo, but a great example of doing it properly there with the Voodoos. And now all of a sudden, 2 goals is a relatively nice lead to have at this stage of the hockey game.
I find that odd man rush is tough to set up in this rink because the neutral zone is so small.
Yeah.
So that trailer has to just be so much quicker than you need to be in other rinks, because you have to come in on side, but then you also have to come in at a point where the pass across to you is going to come a lot quicker, because the 2 guys in front of you are running out of real estate as they move into the zone.
Yeah.
But that one was executed perfectly by the Powassan Voodoos. There's a hard hit with one of the Timmins players coming into the zone, and he is slow to get up.
I think they're going to give I'm curious if they're going to give him a check from behind here, as it was Reinhardt who was behind that, had his back to the boards. Looks like that's Beatty going off.
Not a good time to take a penalty if you're the Powassan Voodoos. Like we said, this is the top-ranked power play in the league. They just went down by 2 goals, and now they've got 1:27 left in this period.
You talk deja vu. This literally happened last period, as there goes Beatty. He's going to be sent to the dressing room. So expect probably a misconduct there as well, but we'll have to wait to get the official scoring a little bit later. Either way, though, pretty much identical to what we saw last, I think 20 seconds a little bit earlier. But
yeah,
again, when you think about it, they came out of that face-off, or they came out of the period, and they started with a goal. It'll be interesting to see what happens here.
Romaniuk to the right side board. Svaric plays it in. Romaniuk with a chance. Save made by Girocolo.
So I think he got a game misconduct, I believe, is what was announced here.
Svaric with a shot. It goes off his stick, over the glass, and out of play. So the Voodoos will be shorthanded for 2 minutes on the ice, and maybe for the rest of the game.
The one bright spot, though, is even though Beatty's has played very well recently, the biggest bright spot here is at least it's not one of your bigger guys, especially now the fact that we're down. You're up 3-1 going into the third period. If anybody's going to take a penalty like that, it's better to be somebody who's not going to get a lot of ice time versus, you know, somebody maybe like a Case or a Viz or someone who's going to be very key for that third period defense.
Clark runs into Shields, and the puck goes back the other way. Now Romania gets stopped before he can enter the blue line. Look at Shields on the forecheck here, playing up high. Now Shields and Cadio Fredette collide near the Timmins blue line, but the Rock still can't get the puck in. They'll try the far side. Now Svarch circles and tries the middle. He gets it over the blue line and goes to the corner. Comes off a couple of sticks, and then it goes in behind the net. Comes back out in front. The Voodoos can't clear it, gets blocked. Now Svarch with it again, with 22 seconds remaining in the period. The Voodoos steal the puck behind the net and send it down the ice. 15 seconds to go in the second period, with 45 remaining on this fifth power play of the game for the Timmins Rock. They turn the puck over the neutral zone again. 5 seconds to go. Turner bringing it in, gets the shot on Boivin, and he will just hold on to it for the buzzer to go. 40 minutes in the books, and the Powassan Voodoos have a 3-1 lead here on home ice.
Yeah, great. So far, a great second period, What an opportunity. When you look at it, 4 goals, all of them on the, well, I believe all of them were on the power play. No, the third one was not on the power play. So 3 of the 4 goals happening on their respective power plays. What's going to be very interesting going into the third period is, does Timmins score again like they did coming out of the second period? But if the Voodoos can get through the first half of that third period with this 3-1 lead, it's going to help them out a lot.
They'll have 32 seconds this time around to begin the third period on the power play, and we'll see if they can take advantage like they did in the second period. So until we get there, I'm Matt Sucrum. He's Ben Sargent, Mike Brown on camera, Harrison Clements on socials tonight. Share, like, and subscribe to the Frontline broadcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and TikTok. And we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. You're watching Powassan Voodoos Hockey on Flow Hockey and listening to it on the Frontline Broadcast YouTube channel.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items, or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today. Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
I told you not to be scaring the customers.
Hey, Barry, come on in for a bite. And bring Brianna with you.
2 minutes up the hill, well, you're only a stranger once.
Ready to embark on an electrifying adventure? Look no further than the Mitsubishi Outlander, available in gas or PHEV, the SUV that redefines excellence. Recently awarded the best midsize utility vehicle in Canada for 2023 by AJAC. This bold and sophisticated SUV delivers advanced performance, safety, and tech, plus peace of mind with its standard super all-wheel control and the best warranty in the business. With red-hot deals and plenty in stock, your award-winning drive starts with the Mitsubishi Outlander.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
Welcome back. I am Matthew Sukram alongside Ben Sargent. We are live at the Powassan Sportsplex on a Saturday night. And it's the Voodoos with a 3-1 lead over the Timmins Rock as we get set for the third period. But just like the second period, the Rock will get to start with the man advantage, only this time, if they do get a goal, it won't give them a lead. It won't even tie the game. It will just decrease their disadvantage to just 1 goal. But still, we saw it in the second period that this Timmins Rock team knows how to make things happen when they are on the power play.
Yeah, and that Caden DuBroy goal that they scored at the 17:39 mark, that made it 3-1, was so, I think it's going to be a key in this hockey game because it does give you that 2-goal buffer. But as you said, we saw the Voodoos do this in the second period, scoring goals within about a 2.5-minute mark between goals. The ice can tilt very, 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 very quickly. So if you're the Voodoos, you'd love to get at least one more, but if you can keep it a 3-1 game and you're able to survive the first 10 minutes of this period, I think that the win probability is going to go way up. But you're going to have to get through those first 10 minutes, and you're going to have to kill off the first part of this power play, because this is what happened with the Rock in the first period. It was Mason Svaric who got the power play goal 23 seconds of the period. They've got 32 seconds to kill off before they get Nick Beattie back in. Of course, he is gone from the game as well from a check from behind. Justin Russo's the man in the box. But it's gonna be an interesting game. But again, that first half of that period is gonna be so crucial.
Mason Sparge got the opening goal in the second period, 23 seconds in on the power play, his 22nd of the year. Ryan Patrick tied the game, his 11th of the year at 4:13 on the power play. Then Reese Smethan got his 10th of the year, 7:46, also a power play goal. Before that, Caden DuBroy's goal at 17:39, his 8th of the year, and that rounds out the scoring in the second period. And there were also a full handful of penalties in that one. Here comes Clark down the ice, dipsy doodles and drops it over the shoulder of DeRoccolo. And just like that, 11 seconds in, the Timmins Rock have cut the lead to 1.
Well, what did can you roll back the clock about 20 seconds to when I said they need to kill off the first 10 minutes of this period?
Wow.
They did not, and that's exactly what happens. And we talked about the hot starts. Pretty much zero resistance from the Voodoos there, and just dipping right around as you described, right past DeRoccolo, and not much he can do about it. And now all of a sudden, then we've got ourselves a hockey game.
Harry Clark with a goal and an assist tonight now. Picked up his 41st assist of the season on that Mason Svarich goal.
Well, he was our player to watch for a reason, and really the whole offense really seems to drive through him. And here's a bad giveaway for Svarich.
And he goes right in, and Duracolo makes the save. And for Harry Clark, that's his 18th goal of the season. And now he's got 58 points on the year.
Well, a really bad giveaway in their own zone from the Voodoos, and Svarich almost gets his second of the game and almost ties things up. Voodoos, again, they're not coming out of this period hot, and the Rock are taking advantage. And you got to be careful, or else very quickly this could turn into a 3-3 or even a 4-3 game in favor of the Rock.
And that's the 4th goal this game that has been scored on the power play. As the puck goes out of play, Felix Cadillo-Fredet with his 31st assist of the season. And Tenzin Neiman getting a secondary assist on that one as well, his 10th of the year.
Again, when you come out as hot as you do, you can tell that the Voodoos are kind of crumbling a little bit under the pressure, as they've been giving a lot of giveaways. There was one right before that offside call. Even then, that last pass from Smetham over to Lemke, not clear at all, nowhere near a stick.
These are the 2 highest scoring teams in the East Division. The Voodoos leading that category coming into the game, 136 goals, while Timmins has put up 133 for themselves. But the goaltenders, I mean, they've been good at this point, though. Yes, it's been 5 goals, but the way these two teams have been attacking the zone, could have a couple on either end. A couple more on either end, I should say. And going right into the goaltender was Kyle Trache. I don't know if he got pushed by Carson Ricci at the end there. Maybe he did. I think Carson Ricci's going... check that McCarthy was having a chat with the official, but no, McCarthy's just going to the bench.
Well, you can never tell with here in the Sportsplex if they're going to the penalty box or the bench, because the penalty box is an extension of the bench. So it's always a bit of a guessing game, but either way, there's another great opportunity. But as you were saying, your point to the goaltending, it's been a great game so far for both goaltenders.
Thompson sends this one in and sends it high. 1:57 gone in the third period, and it is a 3-2 Voodoos lead.
Yeah, and you go back to the way that Boivin has played, and even like when you look at all 5 goals, I don't think there's a goal that you can really blame either netminder on, as it's either a very good East-West play or just an absolute snipe. And actually, if you look at the Timmins Rock, the difference is the Rock's goals have all been snipes.
Now Beard coming down the ice, takes a shot, and the save is made. Speaking of the goaltending, Timmins has allowed the least amount of goals in this division, 101 goals against, and Powassan is right behind them in that category. They've only allowed 106 goals against to this point of the year.
Well, if you remember last year when they had Duracolo, who played really fantastic, they had Caden Flageau as well, who's now playing in the United States in the collegiate system there. Both goaltenders were absolutely fantastic, and Duracolo has not stopped this year either. Even Miles Gordon, one of the 2 backups, has had a really good start to his season as well.
Lowe sends it in. That goes wide of the net. Wraparound opportunity gets denied. Lowe plays it in front. That one's blocked. And they'll bring it out. Now it's Turner down the left wing side. Zach Turner overskates the puck and turns it over. Nyman gets it out, but the Voodoos recover. They turn it over in the neutral zone. There's a hit on the far side as Cadillo-Fredet is thrown into the boards in front of the Voodoos bench, and the puck goes the other way, and it's stuck on the side of the net, so they'll call the play down. 2:52 gone in the third period.
And if you're the Voodoos, you're just, again, of course, Peter Goulet, head coach, hasn't been here for the last couple of weeks, as he's been with one of the many Canada teams that play throughout the year, and it's kind of interesting. I think they've done a good job in the interim, though, trying to keep this team in line, and it's going to be interesting to see how they defend the rest of this game.
There's a shot that just gets tipped wide. And what the Voodoos can't allow to happen is for them to fall back into that trap that they were in the first period, where the majority of the period was spent in their own defensive zone.
Absolutely. And they've kind of been in that, as you said, they're like that right now, as they've really struggled to get out of their own zone. And even there, they're not able to gain the zone. They have to dump and chase. Their neutral zone game hasn't been too solid this game.
And it's Case on the dump in. Lemke finds the puck, tries to drag it in front, and gets pushed hard into the side of the net. And that net gets knocked way off. I don't think I've ever seen a net fly that far into the corner.
It's literally in the corner. Well, I remember last year there were a few games where, for the battalion, where it felt like Dom DiVincentis' net always seemed to come off.
That's right.
I don't know if he had legs of steel or if that net was just not pinned down properly, but that's a lot of strength to get that net to go as far as it did.
Yeah, Lemke's a big guy, and he was going in with some speed before he got hit. And so the faceoff will be inside the Timmins zone with 3:36 gone in this third period. Nice hard hit into the corner. Now Thompson knocked down. Both guys going at each other, and there's going to be a penalty here. Interference will be the call, and Thompson is going to the box, and it's uh-oh time for the Voodoos and their fans.
Well, when you consider that the Rock have scored both goals on the power play, they're 2 for 3. They're 2 for 5 on the power play so far this game. But all their damage, as you said, has come on the man advantage. The only bright spot is the fact that both those goals came early on in the period, so we'll have to see if they're able to stop it here.
Big point in this game. With 4 minutes gone in the third period. 3-2, Voodoos lead. But down by a man for the next 2 minutes or less.
They're not sounding dramatic, and I know that there's still quite a bit of a season left to play. They're about halfway through now. This could be one of those games you look back at the end of the year and say, this was a difference maker.
There's a chance at the side of the net that goes off the post. Garacolo doing his best to just keep his composure there with the Timmins Rock coming right in towards it now. Cadio Fredette sends it wide of the net from the point. There's a hard hit, sending Beard in the boards, but it's Clark who picks up the point. Clark makes a move, going in, shoots it high. Poke check made, but Cadio Fredette blocks it. In behind the net, Wells to the far side. That's Clark. Sets it up to Svaric, waiting. Shot save made. Rebound chance, they score. This game is tied at 3 in the third as the Rock get their third power play marker of the night.
Well, 5 minutes into this second period, and already the Rock get their 2 goals to tie things up. And thinking about what I was watching this power play go, I'm thinking like they really have to shut down Clark. But the problem is, if you shut down Clark, you're going to open somebody else up. And one of the things we haven't seen from Timmins in this game is those second chance rebound opportunities. That was a great example of somebody crashing the net, getting the opportunities, putting it in the back of the net. Now all of a sudden we're back onto even terms, and what looked like the Voodoos were in a good spot is now anybody's game, but the Rock have all the momentum.
And out of the box, Chase Thompson trying to light a fire under his team. He is out there hitting everything that's moving right now.
Just have to be careful not to and put back in the box.
Nice move there by Macmillan to set it up to Viz. Viz dumps it in, but it's picked up by Albert. He carries it to the corner, and that will allow Renard to get out of the zone. Now it's MacArthur going in. MacArthur sets it up, and Renard was right in front of the goal but could not bury it. And now Neiman, Cadio Fredette sends it on net, and the save is made. It's pushed into the corner now. Renard trying to dig it out of that area, but it will be Shields who finds it. And Shields will play it back deep into his own zone. MacArthur is there, tries to set it up to Kelly, but Kelly turns it over and it comes out of the zone. And I think the most damaging thing about that power play goal is the Voodoos killed off a lot of time by just burying the puck on the boards in the opening stages of that power play. But as soon as the puck came loose, the Rock did their damage.
And they're not looking dangerous offensively either. They haven't had a lot of great opportunities on Boivin here in this third period, so that makes scoring a goal maybe a little bit more difficult for them.
Now Patrick sets it up to Ricci, and his stick snaps on the shot. And now it's a 3-on-2 the other way. Lowe to the left side, the shot, and it's off the post. Lowe picks it up off the boards at the line. They poke it back deep into the zone. Setting up there is Beard. He sends it around to the near side. The shot comes in, and that goes off a defender in front of the net and shot back to the near side boards. It is picked up here by Longhurst McIntyre. He plays it deep, and now it's turned over, and the Voodoos dump it down the ice. Gallagher gets to it first for the Rock. It's played behind the net now, cleared out. Lowe hit on the boards by Sturge, but Lowe gets out of the area and carries it forward. He sets it up to Anderson, who holds it at the line, and he'll switch spots with Armitage. He gets it back to Lowe. Lowe in front to Anderson on the backhand. He gets denied. DeRoccolo made the initial save, but the puck went off his shoulder and then trickled across the blue paint. Dangerous opportunity there in the Voodoo zone, and a save made by Boivin on the other end.
Well, one of the things that's interesting is I don't know if Boivin should have actually held on to that puck. And the reasoning behind this is one of the things that the Rock have done really well is by putting so much pressure in the offensive zone, they're not allowing the Voodoos to get any sort of transition the other way. And what's happening is by the time they're getting ready to do a breakout, you're tired and changing, so you're just going to dump it down the ice, right? Or you're going to, in that case, you have Jaden Sturge, a defenseman, bringing it all the way up. Now you give the Voodoos an opportunity in their own to get an offensive zone faceoff and set up a cycle play.
And they did get a shot off that draw, but after it was saved, it was immediately cleared. It's back into the zone now. Lyons turns it over in the neutral zone as he carried it out. And the Voodoos will play it back and look to regroup. Now they send an attack forward. It's dumped in, and they're going to call icing. But I thought Lemke touched it, or check that McMillan touched it on the far side blue line. I don't know if the officials missed the call there. I mean, McMillan is having a conversation there. Well, icing is the call.
Well, despite the Timmins Rock sweeping them last year in the playoffs, it was actually some pretty close games in those series, but this is what the Rock do so well. They come back. What really good teams do is they find a way to win, and that's what the Timmins Rock kind of do. But here's an
poke
opportunity.
Check at the line, carrying it down is McMillan, going one-on-one with Svarge, and Svarge is able to muscle him into the boards, but McMillan off the board sends a shot and save made. Rebound chance gets denied as well, and the Rock bench explodes with appreciation for their goaltender Boivin off that save. And now at the line, shot comes in, and that one goes wide as Patrick tried to bury it from the slot. It comes out in front now, back behind the net, and it's Harry Clark who leads a charge out of the zone. Clark has some support, goes in over the blue line, knocked off Svarge, scores! The Timmins Rock take the lead. They get their third goal of the period, and Mason Svarge, who opened the scoring in the second period, has got his second of the game.
Well, that was an absolute snipe by Svarge. If you're a fan of hockey, you're a fan of that goal, as it was right to the top shelf. Very unfortunate for the Voodoos, but that was just a perfect, nothing DeRoccolo could have done with that one, as it's perfectly in the corner. And every single Rock goal has pretty much been an absolute beauty snipe. And that's kind of one of those differences when we look at the Voodoos. A lot of their goals have been kind of rough and dirty outside of the Duroy goal, but...
Yeah, speaking, Zach Turner just clobbered the Rock defender in the zone there. The Voodoos need a spark, and maybe that was it, but like you said, a game of inches, and Ryan Patrick just missed on a shot earlier in that sequence. Now a chance, Ricci's shot, and it's a glove save by Boivin.
Well, one of the things the Voodoos have not been able to do is get in those high like scoring areas of the ice in the offensive zone. They've had it in that high slot, but it's been in front of a bunch of traffic. They haven't been able to get it really around that blue crease. They're starting to get a little bit closer now, but you can see the desperation, and you kind of don't want this to go into overtime because you don't want to give another point to the Rock. But right now, you're just hoping to get at least something out of it.
And the Rock, who have one more game after this one, they could finish anywhere between 6 and 8 points ahead of the Voodoos going into the Christmas break.
And that's what happened last year. It was pretty much Hurst and Powassan.
Now Lemke coming in, drops it back, the shot, and it goes off the skate of Lemke in front. Now Lemke gets the puck back, plays it behind the net. setting it up to Smetham. But Smetham gets knocked off the puck, and it comes out of the zone. And again, you know, you go back to the play where just before the Rock scored, Ryan Patrick, not going to call it a wide open chance, but he was left alone at the top of the zone, and Boivin had a lot of traffic in front of him, and Patrick just sends the puck wide. And then, about a minute and a half later, Timmins comes back down the ice and scores the go-ahead goal. Third goal of this period for the Timmins Rock. 2 of them have come on the power play. 3 of the 4 goals have been scored on the power play. There's a turnover. Here's McMillan dropping in and cannot wrap that puck around the goaltender. It'll go all the way down to Duracolo, and he will freeze the puck. And like we said in the pregame, I mean, the fact that this is the best power play, or the team with the best power play in the league, it could come down to special teams, and that is the difference right now, as the Timmins Rock, 3 of their 4 goals have come on the power play. Now the Powassan Voodoos, 2 of their 3 goals have also come on the power play, but Mason Sfarich has made the difference so far tonight for the Timmins Rock.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's one of those games where it has been so good back and forth, but either way, I think what the Voodoos need to do at this point is they got to get traffic in the high areas. But even if you look at that last play, there was a great opportunity where the puck kind of came out, there was a rebound, and Boivin has given up his fair share of rebounds in high-scoring areas. But if you look at 2 out of the 3 goals from the Voodoos, they come off of these kind of rebound plays. Nobody was there on the weak side to take care of it, and that easily could have tied things up, and we would be sitting here 4-4. But the Voodoos have a little bit of work. Remember, when I came into this period, I said, first 10 minutes, if you can keep this a 3-1 game. They didn't. They did the exact opposite. They gave up 3 goals, and now they're going to be on their heels for the next 9 minutes and 18 seconds. And it's a much different game 10 minutes later than it was going into this third period.
Off the draw, Trache gets run over at the line, but Albert is able to get the shot off, and it gets blocked and goes into the far side corner.
Turner maybe gets away with that a little bit because the puck wasn't really near Trache at the time, but you can tell he's trying to throw the body around a lot to spark his team.
Yeah, he's had a couple of big hits this period. Chase Thompson has thrown some hits around as well. But the Voodoos need that goal. They need some offensive zone presence now. 8.5 to play in the third. And now it's a 2-on-1 for the Rock going in. The shot save made by Duracolo. Picked up and caught and played down by Lyons. Now the centering pass, and the shot just goes wide. Renard knocked off the puck behind the net, but Lyons will help him out and carry it to the far side. And there's a collision in the corner as it looked like Rotundo lost his footing there. But now there's a chance on that. That's stopped. Rebound as well. It's smothered up by the goaltender Duracolo. And now some pushing and shoving going on in the near side corner as Beard and Rotundo exchange some pleasantries.
Well, again, the Rock don't even have to play defense at this point. They really haven't for a large majority of this game because they spent so much time in the offensive zone. Now, obviously, we don't have the analytics for time of possession in the zone, but the attacking zone. But I guarantee if you did, there'd be a very big discrepancy between both teams. And when you're playing offense, you can't really give up goals, right? So that's what's really helped the Rock out in this game.
McCarthy trying to get this one out. And it finally comes clear, but now the Timmins Rock, they can set 2 guys back in the neutral zone and just play that trap with 7:40 to go.
And the Voodoos basically just get out to the neutral zone to a guy, and they're essentially forced to dump it into the zone. And
yep. Now Smetham dumps it in.
And they're almost just waiting for Timmins to make a mistake in the neutral zone and take advantage. And that's not going to necessarily work all the time.
Maybe that one there as McCarthy picks up the puck. Going into the zone, but he needs some support. Plays it in behind the net. They were looking for a centering pass, but some of the Voodoos players had not yet come off the bench on that last line shift. And so they have to reset from their own zone, and it's Ricci. Sends it down the right side, deflected into the zone. Voodoos back in control at the blue line. Now into the corner. Looking to carry it, and now playing it back into the corner. Back to the blue line, bouncing puck in the slot. No one there for the Voodoos as the puck gets sent into the near side corner. Off the end boards, Thompson throws a hit on his former teammate Kelly. And the puck comes out of the zone and down the ice. Now Ricci throws it back up ahead. Pass out of the zone to Thompson. Thompson gets it over the blue line, looking for McMillan. McMillan lost it, and now the Rock go the other way with Svaric coming into the zone. The game-winning goal coming off his stick in this period. Plays it behind the net, centering now. Nyman pinching in. Nyman gets tripped up, and no call is going to come there.
Maybe getting away with one there. That would have been disastrous for the Voodoos with just about 6 minutes to play.
Viz trying to get a pass going into the zone. That gets blocked. And now the Rock coming in. The shot from Kelly is stopped. The rebound went right to the stick of, I believe it was Wells coming in there, but he got blocked. And now Kelly with a chance again, and he sends it high. At the far side board, shot comes in from a sharp angle. That is blocked, and now it's picked up and sent to the line. Longhurst McIntyre sends it back in the corner, goes to the far side boards. MacArthur is there, plays it back to the point, and a shot comes in right in front of the net. It comes out of the air, and it's batted away and sent down the ice. Long stretch reach for the Voodoos. It's Patrick who gets there first. He plays it on net, but an easy stop there by Boivin. And now a couple players get tangled up at the line, but the puck comes out and dumped down the ice. 5 minutes to play in this period. The Voodoos with a good pushback in the last 2 minutes. They're trying to force the issue, but they're also being aware of coming back on the back check and making sure that they're not leaving themselves shorthanded on that counterattack from the Rock.
Oh, they almost get away with one there.
Whoa.
Almost too many men on the ice.
Sent down the ice again. Boivin out of his net. Leaves it for his defense. And they play it out. Over the line, Beard. Puck into the corner, and now it's brought out in front. They try to crash the crease here, and the puck goes to the far side. Renard gets it to the line. Albert shot in, rebound is sent away.
Well, there was a play earlier in this period where Wells had a great opportunity and a wide open net. Unfortunately, goes on his backhand for the Timmins, or else that would have been an easy way to make this 5-3.
And DeRoccolo has had a couple of big kick saves in this period where the puck has gone right to the slot, but no one there to pick it up for the Rock. Now the Rock got their shot blocked, and the Voodoos bring it out. And you can hear there's a lot of noise coming from the Voodoos bench. They're doing everything they can to spur on the guys on the ice with 3.5 to play in this period now. Case.
Carson Ricci got hit with that puck. He got off for some repairs on the bench, so we'll see if we see number 27 Green back out there. It's with about 3 minutes to go in this game.
Over the blue line, Chase Thompson walking in, takes a shot, save made. Rebound picked up by the Voodoos. Behind the net, they send it to the far side, but Case was not there in time to keep it in the zone. Dumped in by DuBrois. He's got a goal tonight. The Rock looking to play it out from behind their net, and they will. Another chance for the Voodoos to send it in, but Thompson could not corral the puck. Bounces over his stick, and that allows the Rock to kill some time in their own zone. Down to 2:45. Dumped in off the boards, and it's smothered by the goaltender Boivin.
Well, I think if there's one way to describe the game right now for the Voodoos, this whole game, it feels like they've just been out of sync this whole game with their passing. All of their passing, whether it's trying to center pass, no one's there. Trying to wrap around the boards, no one, like Case is on the other side. He's not in the right spot. some of these passes that are either going behind players or too far in front of players. I think that's been a big difference maker, and that's really stopped this offense from clicking.
Shields behind the net. Case sends it back around the near side, and it is past Turner.
Well, case in point
Almost,
right there.
I was going to say almost on cue. That pass, not a good one. Now Turner plays it up to Shields. Shields coming in on the right side. Shields tried to play it to Patrick, but again, the pass is picked off. Although I like that idea. He held on to it for as long as he could, but there just weren't enough guys there to support him.
Yeah, that's another thing too. A lot of times when the Voodoos find themselves in the offensive zone, there is maybe one, if anybody else, in a green shirt in that zone. Very hard to get something started when you don't have that opportunity.
1:40 to go, and the Rock just holding the puck behind the net. I mean, they could have stayed back there the entire time. The Voodoos were just waiting in the neutral zone. DeRoccolo will freeze it with 1:27 to go now.
It's gonna be interesting. With DeRoccolo, you could tell he didn't want to freeze it. The question now is, can the Voodoos get an offensive zone draw here? Are they able to put some pressure on Boivin and get him to stop the puck and hold on to the puck? That's going to be a big key. If the Timmins Rock can stay in the zone for the next 30 seconds, it's going to be very difficult to see them go as they pick up a timeout here.
So we'll take a timeout, and we will take a timeout as well.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
So stick around for our Dave's Automotive 3 stars of the game following this game, and we will also have our North Bay Sturgeon Falls McDonald's player of the game on our social media channels following the game. I think maybe for tonight, Reese Smetham has a couple of assists tonight. You got Ryan Patrick with a big goal. Reese Smetham with a goal and an assist tonight. A couple of guys you can pick for player of the game, but
I think DeRoccolo almost deserves it for 39 shots faced, and you can't really blame him for any of the goals.
That's right. So we'll have that on our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter pages following today's game. That's our North Bay Sturgeon Falls McDonald's player of the game for the Powassan Voodoos. We got the extra attacker out there now as the Voodoos just looking to create some space for themselves in the zone. They turn it over, and the puck will be sent down the ice. Case is being chased by Svaric. He gets it away from Svaric, who will be looking for his third of the night. And they are able to clear it. Case has it again with 45 seconds to go. Finds Patrick, who finds Macmillan. He dumps it in. Around behind the net, Boivin sends it very high off the glass, but staying in play. And now the puck gets cleared. Renard will chase, and Renard will bury it for the dagger. It's 5-3, and the Rock will very likely be coming away with both points in this one.
Yeah, and I think, again, to sum it up, very disappointing game for the Voodoos in this. You're up 3-1 going into the third. You give up 4 goals in the third period. It did not look very strong. They've looked at a sink all night, but they got it done in the second period. They held down the barrage in the first period. They were not able to get to that finish line. And again, this could have been a very different game, I think, if that first opening 10 minutes of the period was a lot different. On the other side, you have the Timmins Rock, and you got to give them a lot of credit. This is what teams do that win championships, because it was gutsy. They were down. They shouldn't have won this hockey game, but they found a way to win. And they did it on the back of their best players in Svaric and Clark.
So Cadio Fredette has been kicked out. He's been sent to the locker room. I don't know what the call was. There's no one in the box, so clearly something happened on the bench after the goal that the officials didn't like. So
Maybe
he was sent to the locker room. Maybe. Anyway, 5 seconds to go, and the Timmins Rock will go 2-0 this season against the Powassan Voodoos with a 5-3 win.
again, you go back to this game, and I think when you go to the end of the year, if the Voodoos are close to the Rock, I think you can go back to this and say this might have been a big game-changing moment, a big loss of multiple points, but not just that, as you said, Matt, they've been able to move ahead, but they still have one more game before that 2.5-week break going over the holidays.
And again, a 4-goal third period comeback for the Timmins Rock. It all started with a power play goal by Harry Clark, his 18th of the season, just 11 seconds in. And then before the 5-minute mark of the third period, it was all tied when Liam Wells scored on the power play, his 18th of the year. Mason Svarich put them ahead 4-3 with the game-winning goal at 8:51 before Hayden Renard scored the empty netter, his third of the season, at 19:30. So let's get to your Dave's Automotive 3 stars of the game.
Tonight's 3 stars is brought to you by Dave's Automotive Services, 411 Airport Road in North Bay. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect from Dave's.
So your 3 stars, the third star of the night from the Powassan Voodoos, Ryan Patrick. He had a goal and an assist tonight. Your second star, Harry Clark, with a goal and 2 assists. He's up to 42 helpers on the year. And then Mason Svarich, your first star of the night, 2 goals and an assist. He's up to 23 goals on the year now. And those wrap up your 3 stars of the game.
Yeah, and overall, again, if you look at the Timmins Rock in this hockey game, it was pretty much them dominating the offensive zone, and the Voodoos not able to break out or do anything. And again, they were very out of sync all game. And really, what you got to see was a very, very strong Timmins Rock, probably on the best of that they've played all season long, versus a Voodoos team that I think when they look back at this game, they definitely could say it wasn't their best performance, and probably would have liked to have this one back, especially in that third period.
Absolutely. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us here at the Powassan Sportsplex. We thank you for joining us all year long. It's been a pleasure to bring you these games for Courtney Kenny, for Harrison Clements, for Brad Brooks, Ben Long, and Ben Sargent, as well as Mike Brown on camera. Happy birthday, Mike. It has been an awesome 2023. Until next year, I'm Matthew Sukram saying happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all the best in 2024, and we'll see you back here again on the Frontline broadcast. Have a great night.
Why is Northern Honda servicing more cars of all makes and models? Let's count the ways. 1. Our state-of-the-art facility has award-winning technicians. 2. Northern Honda has the lowest tire price guarantee, no matter what you drive. 3. The lowest synthetic oil change guarantee, and every 5th oil change is free for all makes and models. Plus, new Honda buyers get brake pads for life. See the service difference at Northern Honda, 1250 Seymour beside Home Depot.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay, to see how we can serve you and the community every day.